We have state finals action on tap today as Edmonton fights for the 2A crown. And this long-standing Thanksgiving tradition continues, complete with all the stuffing, all-star highlights, scores, and more today on the Baltimore Sun High School Sports Show.
The Baltimore Sun High School Sports Show. He's going down the right sideline. He's on right.
Today's show is brought to you by University of Maryland Medicine, Best Buy, Dick's Sporting Goods, and Geico Direct Insurance.
Hi, and welcome to the Baltimore Sun High School Sports Show. I'm Sam Davis, sports editor with the Sun, and we're lucky to have with us this week Keith Mills, sports anchor here at ABC2. Keith, welcome to the show.
Sam, my pleasure.
It's a big week for high school football, state championships. The only local team we have in competing was Edmonton and Coach Pete Pompey.
Yeah, Pete Pompey, a lot of people equate him to the Dunbar basketball dynasty, but he started out as a football player at Morgan State for head coach Earl Banks, was a real good quarterback, and then he started out his high school football coaching career, ironically, at Edmonton, and now he's back, and he really has done a great job with this team, and they are loaded with some top-notch talent.
That's right. Always a mastermind on offense was Pete. He was a quarterback at Morgan, and his teams have always been creative and inventive. It's ironic that before Dunbar went to the state championship 2 or 3 times within a 3 or 4 year period, that was the year that Pete left and went back to Edmonton, but now he's got his team back in the state championship.
He's got his team back. He's got a lot of talent. He's got maybe the best player in the area in Raytron Leak, who plays middle linebacker and running back. He's got a great quarterback in Eddie Colbert. Justice McLeod is a Division I kind of a wide receiver who returns kicks. They got some big guys up front that can push the other guy out. They play a very tough team in Urbana. Urbana, coached by Dave Carruthers, who used to be at Linganore, won a couple state championships. Should be a good one, but don't count out Edmonton. They've defied the odds pretty much all year, and they're perfect 11-0.
We're hearing a lot of things about Edmonton in this matchup, like when Dunbar went up against Churchill in Fort Hill years ago, and you know, it's like, hey, these guys got more coaches than you got players, but Dunbar went in and upset both teams, so I think you got to keep your eye on Edmonton and be ready for the upset.
I agree, and Stan Mitchell didn't get a lot of respect back then either, but he had some great players, and the most notably Tommy Polley, who's now playing at Florida State, and Tommy Polley almost single-handedly disrupted the offense. Raytron Leak's the kind of guy that can do that. To get to this point, you need guys that can make big plays. Colbert, McLeod, Raytron Leak can make big plays. Urbana obviously can as well. Zach Mills is their quarterback. He's highly recruited. But like Dunbar a couple of years ago when they went back-to-back states, don't count them out.
That's right. Well, you know, we talked about Pete Pompey earlier. He's got 182 victories, which ties him with Patterson's Roger Wren as the winning the city coach. There's another coach that went at it this weekend looking for career victory number 200.
I guess you'd call this guy the Gray Fox. Joe Brune at Loyola, of course, the Loyola-Calvert Hall game, one of the premier high school rivalries in the country. And Coach Brune, as you said, Sam, going for a real coveted milestone, I would say. 200 wins in a career is pretty impressive.
That's right. Well, we were there for that game. Let's take you to it and find out what the results were of the 80th meeting between Loyola and Calvert Hall at PSI Net Stadium on Thanksgiving Day.
The 80th annual Turkey Bowl between the Loyola Dons and Calvert Hall Cardinals would be a fitting feast for Dons coach Joe Brune going after his 200th win. The Cardinals hoping to stall the celebration, but not to be. The Dons were on a roll all day. Brandon Creaney finds Ricky Schultz in the end zone for the game's first course score. But the Dons would stay hungry now, up by 14. Junior running back Mike Alfone takes the handoff and jigs and jags his way to a 32-yard score, keeping the feeding frenzy alive, 21-0. 6 more points and nearly 300 yards total put the Dons out of reach, 27-0 at halftime. Second half, Mike Alfone goes for his 3rd touchdown on the day, this one good for 35 yards. He finished with 136 on the day, and then Brendan Creaney puts the icing on the cake, a 41-yard jaunt to give Coach Joe Brune win number 200 and a 40-6 Turkey Day romp over the Cardinals.
The last 2 games we've played like gangbusters, and that's just to see things come together is what gives me great pleasure.
Now, here's a recap of all the state finals this past weekend and some others you may have missed on our Geico Direct scoreboard.
The Maryland Association of Coaches presented the 1999 North-South All-State Soccer Game on a warm and foggy field at UMBC last week. All-Stars from the North were well represented by Archbishop Curley, Patapsco, Loyola, Calvert Hall, Dundalk, Delaney, Franklin, Ballston, North Carroll, North Hartford, St. Paul's, Kenwood, and Parkville. The South by Severna Park, Old Mill, Mount Hebron, Meade, River Hill, Oakland Mills, and Glen Elm. And the match was a dead-even fight the whole way until 12 minutes remaining, when Calvert Hall's Michael Joseph takes this feed in front of the net and uses his head to put it on home for the game's only score. The North takes this one by the count of 1-0.
The North-South girls all-state soccer teams also went at it last week. The North, coached by Chuck Nichols from Thomas Johnson. The South by Leonardtown's Jennifer Henderson and Diane Casey from Roosevelt. The South led the charge the entire way in this one. Midfielder Katie Elliott from Mount Hebron struck gold first as she fires a bullet from point-blank range past Churchill's Lindsay Haywood for a 1-0 advantage. Then we move just 2 minutes down the road when Leah Barrett from La Plata finds McDonough's Lisa Zanti, who fires one through the gatekeeper's legs to put the South up by 2. It would stay that way heading to intermission. In the second half, the ladies in black would add one more for good measure. You might think this feed would bring rain, but instead Kelly Renfro pours it on with this header past South River's Aaron Johnson. The South cruises to a 3-0 victory over the North.
When we come back, it's time to see whether Edmondson kept its dream season alive with the state title. Don't miss the action next on the Baltimore Sun High School Sports Show.
I don't think we should be afraid of people who are different.
People in high school always tend to judge people just by first glance.
People are going to talk about you no matter what.
You can't let anyone control you.
Just be yourself.
There's a hospital in Maryland where a team of researchers are developing innovative, non-invasive cancer treatments. Doctors here are minimizing radiation exposure to healthy tissue by using three-dimensional images to target the exact locations of tumors, thus improving patient comfort, care, and success. Who's leading these medical advancements? University of Maryland Medicine.
Make my dorm room the Best Buy dorm room.
This is it. Best Buy Residence Evaluation Team. We're going to take a look around if you don't mind. Built-in VCR and a Sony PlayStation, huh? Do your parents know you have that? You can't stop me. Am I the only one that smells that? Nice computer. What kind of CDs you got? Great stereo.
Dorm life from Best Buy. Now that's a great idea.
What's up? Tom, it's your mom.
I'll be right back with your new low Geico rate. Great. I can save you over $250.
Every week, 10,000 drivers switch their car insurance to Geico. We take all the necessary precautions. Geico Direct. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Busy day.
What?
Well, Keith, it's Edmondson-Urbana for the 2A state championship at Byrd Stadium. What do you think?
Well, great question. Last week, Urbana beat a very good Hereford team as Zach Mills, their outstanding quarterback who's headed to Penn State, had a big day. But the sports always has irony, Sam. And the irony is that last week, Edmondson shut down Howard and their best player, Gerald Smith, who has also gone to Penn State. We'll see if Raytron Leake and Eddie Colbert and Justice McLeod can make enough big plays to offset the next year's Nittany Lion freshman quarterback, Zach Mills. Should be a great game.
Now, Edmondson, always ready under Pete Pompey, always a good, creative offense. He's got that offensive mind, having been a quarterback at Morgan State. Has that been the key to this team this season, getting this far?
I think so. I think he's let his offensive players make the plays. He's put the game in the hands of his best players, which is Eddie Colbert and Ray Tryon Leak. Colbert's got a wonderful arm. Reminds me of a young Rodney Elliott at Dunbar a few years ago. And Leak, as we've talked about, one of the best high school prospects in the country. Looks like he might go to Michigan.
Okay, the stage is set. You got 11-0 Edmonton going against Urbana, which has won 24 straight games. Our Dave Goldman's there. It's our Dick's Sporting Goods big game of the week.
Sam and Keith, before we trek to College Park, let's take a look at this week's classroom stars. From Edmonton, it's senior Jemiah Green with a 3.1. And senior Kevin Palmer carries the weight from Urbana with a 3.8 GPA. The tale of two unbeatens at Byrd Stadium, the 11-0 Hawks of Urbana, and Edmonton's 12-0 Redskins. And it was Urbana soaring early. John Andrews gives his team a 7-0 lead off this 18-yard run. Then off the play action, Zach Mills connects with Billy Gaines with the move and the dive into the end zone. 14-0 Urbana. Redskins with a great chance to jump back in it at the Urbana 6, but Darryl McCray has it stripped. Chris O'Connor now has it. Redskins finally get on the board. Late first half, Edward Colbert finds Justice McLeod by the defender. A 93-yard pass play. But it was still 28-6 at the half, Urbana. Second half, Hawks continue to pound away. Zach Mills back of the end zone to Chris O'Connor. Time for respectability. Raytron Leak of Edmonton, 137 yards on the night. 3 of them right here. But it's Urbana's night, a second straight title for the Hawks of Frederick County.
We got whipped. I mean, as simple as that. You know, we got a good football team, which means they got a whole lot better one. And I knew there was a good football team coming in. Our kids played well all year long. If I say we had kind of a weak schedule, we came into the playoffs and played 2 real good football teams in Dunbar and Howard High School, and we accounted for ourselves. And of course, we came here today, and then things just not worked for us. I think that the wet field took some of our speed away from us, but they played on the same field too, though.
Last year we came out real slow in the state championship, and it turned out being a really close game, and we wanted to go out and show them that we can go out and just win a state championship.
You know, we thought we could do some things, and fortunately we were able to, and the kids played hard, and we came out the second half saying that, hey, the score is 0-0. We had come out and play hard, and we thought if we took out the first drive and put them away, we had them.
Some championship games are easier to surmise than others, and this certainly falls into the simple category. 2 outstanding teams looking for a title, but in the end, Urbana was just too good in every phase, from run blocking all the way to special teams. Covering the 2A championship at Byrd Stadium in College Park, I'm Dave Goldman for the Baltimore Sun High School Sports Show.
Now it's time to salute some outstanding seniors from Pikesville High School who work hard on the field and in the classroom. Congratulations and keep up the good work. When we return, we'll meet our male and female athletes of the week and...
Coming up next is the best 5 plays of the week on the Baltimore Sun High School Sports
Show! It's amazing what some people will do to save a little money.
What a piece of work.
Yet with one call to Geico, you could save 15% or more on car insurance. And considering the alternatives, making a phone call is pretty simple.
I got it! Amateur.
Geico Direct. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
There's a hospital in Maryland where doctors are taking crash injury research to the next level. A hospital whose doctors are analyzing real crash data to help advance orthopedic care. Where world-renowned shock trauma specialists are using their clinical experience to help automakers design safer cars. Who's leading these medical advancements? University of Maryland Medicine.
Here's my idea. Make it easy to buy a cell phone.
With this new cellular and DSS support zone, Best Buy is unstoppable, Ed. You said it, Matt. Here we can see a customer being helped with his cell phone activation. He's connected and ready to go. Ooh, and this guy just made arrangements to have his DSS installed next Tuesday. That's a great play. Let's go down to Frank.
So what do you think of the new support zone?
It's great. Everything's in one place. It's really easy.
Well, there you have it. Helping you get connected the easy way. Best Buy, now that's a great idea.
Mandy Komar of Westminster and Mike Styczinski of River Hill know what it takes to be a champion. Last week in the state semifinals against Parkville, Mandy scored the decisive goal and added 2 assists to lead the Owls to their first state championship title ever. And Mike won the state cross-country championships with a meet record of 16 minutes, 22 seconds. Let's meet Mike and Mandy, our University of Maryland Medicine Athletes of the Week.
I've been playing soccer since I was 5, and it's been a huge part in my life. Growing up, it's always been soccer, everything's been soccer, and I don't know what I would do without it. It's just, and I've met so many people through playing soccer and so many friends, and it's just a huge part of my life.
And it was a huge part of the success the Westminster Owls experienced this season. Senior midfielder Mandy Komar had 14 goals and 11 assists on the year, including 1 goal and 2 assists against Parkville in the state final, which gave the Owls their first girls soccer title ever. But Mandy would be the first to admit it was not an individual effort.
Without my team, I wouldn't be anywhere, you know. And we just work so well together, and even though I score and I assist and everything, I mean, the people that it starts from the back and works its way up, and I mean, all the key points in between there. It's just a whole team game. Without them, I wouldn't be anywhere.
But where Mandy is today is Tucson, Arizona. She's one of 64 players from around the U.S. competing for the under-17 national team.
It's always been like my dream to make the national team. And before the national team, it was hard to make the regional team. And that was my dream before the national team. And now that I have the opportunity, it's really awesome. And I'm nervous, but hopefully I'll do well. And I get to play against the top players in the country, so it's really, really awesome.
Mandy helped put Westminster's soccer team on the map, and at River Hill, Mike Styczinski helped add another one of these to their trophy case.
I'd like to think of myself as hardworking and dedicated to my sport. Cross country really doesn't get that much press, and it's kind of overlooked most of the time, but I enjoy doing it, enjoy working hard at it and improving.
And to say River Hill senior Mike Styczinski has improved since starting cross-country his freshman year would be the understatement of the season. Mike led River Hill to the state title for the 2nd year in a row, setting a meet record for time, which was just 5 seconds off the course record in the 3-mile run.
Mike was cut from the soccer team, actually, but decided to run cross-country. Had some difficulties as a freshman with some shin problems as a beginning runner, but worked through those, lettered his freshman year, and continued to improve. Earned my most improved runner award 2 years in a row, and this being his 3rd year, I probably could give him that most improved runner award again. He's done that through hard work, a dedicated effort, setting goals, and his goal this year was to win the state championship, which he did in record time. So it goes back to hard work and believing in yourself and achieving something that you believe you can do.
I believe that I bring my work ethic to the team. That's one of the main things. I always try to give 100% in practice, whether it's just a long run or it's an interval workout, as well as in meets. I'd like the people to look up to me, the younger kids in the team to look up to me, and to kind of say, hey, if I work that hard, maybe I'll be as good as him. So I think if they look up to me, they'll do well.
We congratulate Mike and Mandy, our University of Maryland Medicine Athletes of the Week.
Thanks, Amber. Now it's time for some outstanding plays, including some of our fall favorites.
Sam, our highlight reel begins with all-state soccer action with all-star plays. get a load of this tight save. Chris Ebling from Oakland Mills with cat-like reflexes to deny the score. Speaking of all-stars, Milford Mill all-world quarterback Richard Johnson receives the kickoff in this county title game, goes up the gut, and makes the defender miss. He moves to the outside and no one's going to catch him. He'll race 94 yards for the score. Gilman was off to the races as the area's #1 team all season long. Our congratulations go out to the Greyhounds for their outstanding play this season and for outstanding plays like this one by sophomore Malcolm Rupp, who takes the pitch all the way for the score. But our kudos this week go to the Loyola Dons and junior Clipper Lennon, who spoils the Cardinals' Thanksgiving feast with this game of pickpocket. It puts the Dons in scoring position and earns our Best Buy Outstanding Play of the Week.
Today's Best Buy Best Cheer comes courtesy of the Lady Owls from Westminster. You are now nominated to be selected our Best Buy Cheer of the Year. Congratulations, ladies. This Medical Minute is brought to you by University of Maryland Medicine, featuring John Mahoney of Kernan Physical Therapy in association with University of Maryland Medicine.
The role of the physical therapist is basically a guide for the patient. We're the person that's with that patient throughout the recovery phase to guide them along the proper course so that they can recover as quickly as they possibly can. In high school age, they're usually dealing with fractures and sprains and strains. As they get a little bit older and they get into other athletic activities or in automobile accidents, then again, you're dealing with a lot of soft tissue injury and sprains and fractures. Right after an injury, we want to prevent as much swelling as we can. We do that with modalities such as ice and ultrasound and electrical stimulation. As the range of motion comes back and the swelling and the pain decrease, then we add the therapeutic exercises. Just contracting the muscle to doing straight leg raises and gentle exercises over a roll, laying on your back, to very high-tech exercise equipment that can bring anybody from a young athlete to a professional athlete back to full performance. I'd say the average person's probably about 3 months for most kinds of rehab. Even the ACL repairs today that at one time took us over a year to rehab, we're rehabbing in 3 months. So the techniques are much improved and the results are much better.
Up next, a closer look at Edmonton's Raytron Leak. Big things are happening for this young man, which may include a chance to play for a Big Ten school. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
There's a hospital in Maryland where in 1920, doctors first showed the world surgery could be performed on the heart. A hospital whose pioneering excellence continues today, with doctors developing advanced videoscopic procedures to reduce pain and recovery time. Who's leading these medical advancements? University of Maryland Medicine.
Make my dorm room the Best Buy dorm room.
This is it. Best Buy Residence Evaluation Team, we're going to take a look around if you don't mind. Built-in VCR and a Sony PlayStation, huh? Do your parents know you have that? You can't stop me. Yeah. Am I the only one that smells that? Nice computer. What kind of CDs you got?
Great stereo. Dorm life from Best Buy. Now that's a great idea.
What's up? Tom, it's your mom.
Oh, I think I'm in love. Ouch. I'm going over there.
Yeah, me too.
Nah, she's not my type.
What are you, crazy? She's perfect. Do not ruin this for us.
You know, you guys can go over if you want, but I'm staying right here.
Middleman getting in the way? At Geico Auto Insurance, there is no middleman, so a 15-minute call could save you 15% or more.
Excuse us. We lost our phone number. We have yours?
We talked earlier in the program about Edmonton's big back Raytron Leak. He's drawing big-time attention from some big-time football programs around the country, and why not? Raytron does everything on the football field, including kicking, punting, kick returning, receiving, linebacking, not to mention rushing. He had 42 touchdowns and has been touted as one of the nation's top 30 running backs. Here's a closer look at Raytron Leak.
Some people think I'm just a running back. I'm not just a running back. I played up to maybe 8 positions on my team, so that's going to help me. That's what helps my recruiting as well. That's why I'm ranked 30th among the nation in running backs and as an athlete. You got to allow yourself to want to do these things. You just can't let other people bring you away from your concentrations. And when you're on the field, you know, you're thinking of everything. This is my chance to show who's in the stand. You know, it's not what you're doing when who's watching, it's what you're doing when you don't know who's watching. So that's what helps me, keeps my motivation to become one of the all great players in the state of Maryland.
One thing Raytron is not short on is confidence. He's got the stats to back it up and recruiters knocking on his door. But the one element that may be the most important, no fear.
You gotta put yourself in a situation where you're able to achieve and just drive straight through your fears. Do the best. When you do the best, that's what I mean by success. Able to go out there and conquer your fears. And I've been conquering them on academics and on the athletic field as well.
As we go through the steps, I believe he could be playing on Sunday in the NFL. I think he has that chance. But right now, the step is to finish this and then to get to college and get those things done. I think that's the steps that he's on, and that's the progression he needs to make right now. But I believe if he does it right, continue to work on his game, stay in the books, I think NFL is in his future.
But first, Raytron's future hinges on where he will attend college and staying on course to reach his dream of playing in the NFL. He's excited about the prospects of attending Michigan, Boston College, Virginia, Florida State, or a host of other universities. But he knows the road he has to travel has bumps.
Take the back road. It may be a little longer, but that's the road you're gonna have to take, you know. In the city, it's a lot of violence, a lot of people wanting to bring you down because they didn't make it, maybe, and because that they don't want to see nobody succeed. So I believe that if I keep my success up, my success will continue to flow, just like water. Water runs downhill. You know, you can't be at the top of the hill expecting something to come up to you. You gotta be at the bottom of the hill and work your way up. So I believe I will make it.
Thanks, Elena. That's all the time we have for today. I'd like to thank Keith Mills once again for stopping by, and you as well. Keep reading the Sun each day and look for our all-county soccer teams Thursday and all-county football teams Friday. Until next week, have a great school week ahead.
Our Prep Athlete Awards are courtesy of Larry Beck, the Trophy King.
This edition of the Baltimore Sun High School Sports Show is dedicated to the memory of Mary Carol Eisenhut from Notre Dame Prep, a gifted athlete and individual who lost her life in a car accident last week. Our thoughts are with her family and friends.